The last Viking king ever to rule England was a bloke called Eric Bloodax.
Eric Bloodax, I love that name. Rah! Sounds so evil and bloodthirsty, like a warrior rampaging through the land and causing havoc.
Yeah, the thing is, you might have a point there. So the Vikings, everyone's heard of them and everything, but what were they actually like? Well, they came from Scandinavia, sort of somewhere over there across the North Sea, basically Denmark, Sweden and Norway. They were warriors who came over 1,200 years ago in search of new and fertile lands. So listen to this, yeah? This is what a monk called Simeon of Durham wrote. He witnessed the invasion at the time. The pagans from the northern regions came with a naval force to Britain, like stinging hornets, and spread on all sides like fearful wolves, robbed, tore and slaughtered not only beasts of birds and sheep and oxen, but even priests and deacons and companies of monks and nuns. But that's just what the books say.
Yeah, I mean, they might have just been hungry, looking for food.
Yeah, they might have.
What we do know is that Viking raids were happening all the time, up and down the coastline of Britain, with the earliest one recorded on the island of Lindisfarne, off the coast of Northumbria.
In the end, the Vikings decided they quite liked it here. They settled, and the Viking Age began.
Life was hard for a Viking, and you were really lucky if you made it into adulthood. The sad fact was that 1 in 5 children died even before their 5th birthday.
By the age of 10, you were considered a grown-up. Almost everyone was married by the age of 15. There was no school.
Brilliant.
Well, it meant that most people couldn't read or write.
Children learned other skills such as planting crops, raising livestock, making tools and building ships.
Both boys and girls were trained to be warriors and taught how to use swords, spears and battle axes.
Rah! Some people did learn to read and write using runes, which was the Viking alphabet at the time. These people were thought to be special with magical powers.
Abracadabra!
Not like that.
Oh.
Eric Bloodax was born in Norway in about 892 AD. He got his nickname because he used an axe to kill most of his 20 brothers in his quest to become King of Norway.
Hang on, that's not very nice,
I know.
is it?
Well, he didn't stay King of Norway for long. Everyone there hated him, so when his brother, Hakon the Good...
That was the one he hadn't done away with?
Yeah, when he tried to steal the throne off him, Eric Bloodax fled to England.
So what would Eric Bloodax have worn? Let's see. Lots of brown things.
It's really itchy. Oh, I like this fur on the sleeves. That's very kingly.
A reversible cape.
Oh, brilliant.
Whoa! We've got this daytime version, which is just plain animal skin.
That's heavy.
And then you've got a glitzy version with some embroidery to show off. Look, you've got a bit of a badge.
Oh, I like that.
See, the belt's quite nice, isn't it?
Brilliant. Ow! Ah! Oh, the shoes are cool. I'm loving the shoes.
Don't seem that waterproof, do they?
No.
What are these for? Are they for fighting?
I want the horns just so you can go like this. And look frightening.
It doesn't look that frightening, to be honest with you.
Oh, can you get the hat off my head? It's hot and it's heavy. Whoa. So that's what the Vikings look like. But this rather fabulous outfit is what the English look like.
I think you'll find they're called Saxons, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And we're here to find out what it was like to live in Saxon times. Okay, so there's a battle going on, a reenactment of a battle, but it's so violent that it actually looks quite real and scary, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's between the Vikings and the Saxons, but it mostly involves a lot of...
We don't really know which side is which. Hello.
Hello.
Can you tell us what you're doing?
I'm making beakers.
beakers. They're very large, long beakers.
But it's only actually that bit, it's the beaker. What I'll do is I'll make the beaker, empty it out inside, cut it off here, and you get a beaker.
Oh, look how smooth it is. So how does it work?
I've got a pole, which is a spring,
Yeah.
a piece of string which comes down, wraps around the piece of wood, and goes onto a treadle. I press the treadle, and it causes the piece of wood to go round. I put the sharp bit of the metal gouge against the wood,
Okay.
and it just shaves it off.
And that shaves it so you can make different shapes.
Yes.
So do you quite like your outfit?
I basically think that I look better than you.
The thing is, you definitely do. It just kind of suits you.
I think it's because you have a pin head.
Is that what I just feel like I look really silly, whereas you look quite like you would wear that?
I would wear that, and actually I think it's quite cool. For instance, these little thingamajigs,
Yeah.
accessories. I mean, you'd find these in big shops.
Sorry, I just noticed yours match, whereas I've got
Honestly,
two different ones.
I'm a very cool Saxon lady.
So this is where you make our lovely belts.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tablet loom.
But how do you get this into one of these?
Ah, that's on a drop spindle.
This has always fascinated me, how you get big fluffy sheep into tiny little threads.
Attach your fibres onto the spindle.
Wow! I can't believe
And
they
you
stick
draft it
together.
out. And the twist gives it its strength, makes the fibres want to grip onto each other.
Would it be possible for us to have a go or not really?
You can if you want.
Okay, let's try.
Okay, so clockwise twist, pull back
Yeah.
very gently. No, just actually pull the fibres.
Oh no, it's not going to break.
No,
Oh,
not
oh.
too much. Not too much.
Put
Okay,
it back
now,
in.
no.
Fran, help me. Hang on, how many of these would we need to make something like what you're wearing?
It's like 3 to 5 miles in a dress. So
That's a lot.
that's going to keep you going for a bit.
Oh, I wonder what a Saxon summer outfit's like.
I don't think they vary.
I think it's the same, but maybe without the hat bit.
You must cover your hair.
Fran,
When you were 9...
Am I not covering my hair?
no, you're in trouble.
No. Oh, real
Oh,
big
I'm in trouble.
What does this mean?
It means that you like to kiss the boys.
Fran, well, that's not changed. I knew that a long time ago.
So I'd get in big trouble for showing my hair, you
Little
mean?
girls were engaged when they were 9, and they would
No.
they would cover their hair then.
Because actually, apparently, the main thing with the hair is that lots of Viking
I
women
wanna say this
die.
bit.
Okay.
Basically, there was 2 forms of death for women during Saxon times.
Yeah.
One was childbirth and one was death by fire.
Because they'd get their hair caught in the fire when they'd be cooking, and that'd be a disaster. So you have to make sure it's all tied back. So this is a reenactment of a pagan burial. They put the corpse in the boat, then put in with her all the things that she wants to take to the afterlife.
So, for example, we've got a hunk of meat.
Yeah.
Very important to take over to your ancestors in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Some embroidery.
Yeah, musical instrument, make sure you don't get bored.
And a musical instrument. It's all
All
you need
kinds.
in the afterlife.
Okay, back to Eric Bloodax. Hi, Eric. So, when Eric came to England, he was sent to govern the Viking kingdom of Northumbria on behalf of King Athelstan, because he was really old. Thing is, he only really got the job because he was a really good friend of Eric's father, Harold Finehair, who, to be fair, did have very fine hair, you see.
Anyway, just to explain, England back then wasn't divided into all the counties that we have today, was it? No, it wasn't. In fact, it was split into just 3 kingdoms, which were Mercia, Wessex and Northumbria. Scotland, Wales and, funnily enough, Cornwall remained Celtic and never fully came under Viking rule.
The capital of Northumbria was called Jorvik, what we now call York, and Eric moved there with his wife Gunhild, which is a brilliant name. Eric's reign was a bit of a nightmare, full of all sorts of problems, and he soon decided that what he really wanted was the top job, the job of ruling the whole kingdom, all by himself.
What are you doing?
Trying out my new throne. Why?
Get up, there's lots to do. The Scottish monk Cadra is coming to stay for the weekend, and before that I'd like you to check the new coinage.
Boring.
You don't care, do you? I have to do everything by myself. No wonder they call me the witch wife. I mean, just because I'm a strong woman who's in control, I don't know what you'd do without me.
Anything else?
Yes, apparently King Athelstan is on his deathbed.
What?
King Athelstan is on his deathbed. So was this a chance for Eric to get his hands on the kingdom?
Now, Eric's wife, Gunhild, she was a total legend. The main thing everyone said about her was she was a massive bully.
Yeah, she was really bossy to Eric and was quite cruel to her people. And even her name, Gunhild, in the old Viking language of Norse, means war or battle.
Do you think that's where we get the term battle axe from? Like battle, Mrs. Axe, battle axe? Don't know.
Yeah, that could be true, because there are loads of other Norse words that we still use today.
Do you know any Norse words that we still use today?
I just know the ones in the days of the week. Moon Day, Tweez Day, Woden's Day, Freya's Day, and then of course there's Saturn Day and Sunday.
What about villages? Don't some of our names for villages come from the Norse?
B is Norse, the end by at the end is Norse.
So Grimsby?
Grimsby is Norse. Thorpe is Norse.
What does Thorpe mean?
Is it a settlement?
Monday.
Moon, it's the moon.
Moon Day!
Yeah, nice and easy one for you. Tuesday, Tweez Day. Twee is god of the forest. Woden's the overall father god. That's Wednesday.
I means farm.
So Whitby means wheat farm.
It's
White
like
farm?
Possibly
White farm.
White farm, there you
Full of
go.
white animals? Or is that too literal?
Probably too literal.
Okay.
It might mean the environment. Perhaps it was built near a chalk hill
It's
or
chalky,
something
isn't
like
it?
that.
Are you just making that up?
No,
No.
Whitby
I think
is
that sounds
Celtic.
quite clever.
I never make.
Thor, the god of storms. Thursday. Friday, Freya's Day.
Goddess of love
And war. And then we've got Saturn's Day.
Saturn is in the planet?
Yeah, way up there.
So could they see Saturn?
Well, Saturn was originally a Roman god.
And Sunday
It's the sun,
is the sun? Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
isn't it just?
In the year 939 AD, King Athelstan of Northumbria died, leaving the position vacant. But even though Eric Bloodax had been governing the kingdom on his behalf, becoming king wasn't going to be quite as simple as he'd hoped.
Who's next in line to the throne?
Athelstan's brother Edmund. I mean, he's only 18, but still there's no knowing whether he'll support you as king of Northumbria.
But why? Athelstan made me king of Northumbria because he knew and liked my father. Won't Edmund feel the same way?
Brothers don't always agree on things. You should know that. You killed most of yours.
True. But he needs me to protect him from the Irish. Doesn't he?
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, Gunhild. What should I do?
Gather Earl Arnkel and Erlin from the Orkneys. Next sail to the Hebrides and gather more men from your fellow Vikings there. Then go south and fight. Live up to your name, Eric Bloodax.
Okay.
Because the Vikings didn't have anything like newspapers, all the stuff that happened was written down by poets in things called sagas. That's how we know everything about the Vikings that we do. The thing is, it also meant that all the facts sometimes got a little bit hazy.
After King Athelstan died, many people fought over power. The King of Dublin, Edmund, then his brother, then Eric Bloodax. This is the hazy bit, la 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 la. He ruled from 947 to 954.
You're rubbish. Hi, Ben.
Hello, Fran.
Hello.
Ania.
So you know these really old poems, these sagas? Well, how do we know that actually anything in them's true?
Well, they're written so late after, in the 13th century.
Yeah.
And they're obviously exaggerated accounts of what actually happened. But it seems as though the sagas, the purpose they were written for was to give an idea of a typical Viking. So Eric in the sagas is an amalgam of lots of different Vikings and forms of behaviour that was all put into one person.
Because do we know what Eric Bloodax was actually like?
Well, the clue's in his name. It seems that he killed his brothers, which is quite a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
But he seems to be no better or no worse than any other Viking that came to Britain. He's just presented like that to represent what the others might have been like.
So is there any hard evidence that he actually existed?
Well, there's the written evidence that form the basis for the sagas, but there's also coins that he issued when he was king in Northumbria, which were issued at York twice. So he definitely existed, but what he was doing, the exact timescale of when he was king and when he wasn't king isn't quite clear.
But so why are the coins such good evidence?
It's stamped for history, so even we nowadays know about him. You wouldn't have minted a coin unless you had some kind of power base and some legitimacy as king, even if he was king very briefly. Many centuries later, it's the one thing that does survive. It's a hard piece of evidence.
Yeah, they last a long time, those little coins. That's why people find them on beaches, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
If you were a Viking, what would your name be?
Ben book reader.
Yeah! There you go.
Very good.
Brilliant. Thanks then.
Thank you. Goodbye.
We'll leave you back to your book reading.
Yes,
Bye.
indeed.
Bye.
See you.
One of Eric Bloodax's main jobs as King of Northumbria was to protect it from marauders. Marauders went around killing people or stealing things. I love the word marauder.
And I love the word berserker. Berserkers were special Viking warriors. The word berserker means like a bear skin or a bear shirt, because that's what they used to wear. They also used to eat plants from the forest that made them hallucinate really badly. It's where we get the word today to go berserk. Are you all right? The Vikings weren't just scary warriors, they were also the most amazing boat builders. Some of their longboats were up to 70 metres long. That's from here
To here! And these could carry up to 30 oarsmen!
but this is a small-scale version of a longboat, so it only needs 4 of us. The longboats are made of wood, then they'd use tar from pine trees to make them a bit waterproof. They also often added the carved head of a scary animal to make the boats look really fierce.
And they were designed to set up high up in the water so they could sail up rivers and right up onto beaches, and then the Vikings could jump out straight away and start fighting.
The Vikings were majorly religious. The religion they followed was called paganism. In it, they had about 50 different gods.
Thor was the god of the skies and the weather. He was the most popular god of all. He rode a chariot driven by 2 goats.
Loki was the god of fire, but he was also the minxiest god of them all. He used to annoy the other gods because he was always playing tricks on them. But he also helped defend them against the giants with his sneaky tactics.
Freya was the goddess of love and war. She could turn herself into a bird, and when she cried, she wept tears of amber and gold.
Odin was the god of all gods. He rode around on an 8-legged horse, and legend has it that he once gave away one of his eyes in exchange for wisdom. Dumbo. So earlier we learned all the weird funny things about what it was actually like to live in the time of Eric the Bloodax.
And now we're actually going to train to do some archery.
OK, you have that one.
So would women have done this?
Women would have hunted
And would you actually kill an animal with one of these?
quite easily.
So they're more for killing animals than killing people.
Well, yes.
And what am I aiming for, the pig or the owl?
We're going to go for the owl. Nice and easy target
I
for
don't
you.
know if I want to eat owl tonight.
There's
but,
nothing wrong with a nice owl burger. Now, you can see the arrow has 3 flights, 2 different colours. The one that's the odd one out is the one that always goes away from the bow.
Okay.
There we go. Can you pull it back?
Am I aiming for his head?
Yes,
Or for his...
just aim for the body.
Is it supposed to be like that way
Don't
over?
distract me. I'm trying to kill some owl for supper.
Shouldn't it be upright?
That's quite good.
It's not bad at all. Look straight down the arrow at the owl. When you're ready, release. It's in the right line. It's
Right
in the...
direction anyway.
I'm going to kill the owl.
Yeah?
That's all right.
Oh, well,
I killed a pigeon.
Wrong bird, but...
Doesn't matter.
OK, let's try with Fran.
Brilliant. I killed a bird.
Oh, hang on. 2 ways of...
Fran!
Hit it!
I
hit
killed
it!
the owl.
I hit the owl.
We're eating tonight.
Right, that's it. That's as far as you want to come back.
Wow.
That went really far.
Perfect. Now, tonight, you're going to be setting fire to a boat.
What? Is that not, like, a bit dangerous?
Well, it can be, but with a bit of practice, I think we'll pretty well cover you and you should be OK.
So how do we actually set fire to the boat?
Basically, what we do, we take an arrow, there'll be a large wadding on the end of the arrow, which will be set fire to. You put it in the bow, just up in the air.
How long do we have it before it gets down to us, the fire?
The fire won't actually travel down the arrow.
How difficult is it to get it right?
Providing you can get the right angle and the right poundage on your bow, it's not that much of a problem.
During Viking funerals, bodies were burnt in longboats. Tonight we are setting fire to a boat in a reenactment of a traditional Viking funeral.
I'm so nervous, my hands are shaking. What's wrong with me?
Or you're going to be more nervous when you see the fire that's coming towards you.
Oh! This can't be right!
Come on, stand up, nail it.
Oh, thank you. Oh!
Rogers! Stop! Draw! Loose!
How was
Very
it?
well done.
Really?
Well done.
It looks beautiful.
I think yours actually hit the sail and yours just hit the lower part of the sail and then dropped in.
Oh, wow. So both our arrows hit the boat.
I don't know if they did.
Yeah, I think they did. We reckon we quite like living the times of Eric Bloodax.
I think we do, but the archery bit, not the spinning the thread bit.
No. Eric died in 954 AD. All the sources say something different about how he was killed. Some say he was ambushed by his rival, Morcar.
And some say he was stabbed in the back by Morcar during a battle.
But there's one thing we do know. He definitely ended up dead.
Yep.
The death of Eric Bloodax brought an end to Viking rule in England forever. If it wasn't for the Vikings, then Britain would still be a whole load of higgledy-piggledy kingdoms. But instead, England, Scotland and Wales all united in order to fend them off. In the end, the Viking era only lasted for 100 years.
What, 100 years? That's hardly anything.
I know, nothing. Sorry, what are you doing?
I'm looking for Viking coins. Apparently they're everywhere around here.
What?
Hey, there's a Viking coin!
Okay, Eric Bloodax, go.
Eric Bloodax was the last Viking king. He came over 947 to 954 something.
Wow.
Had an evil wife. And he knew some people that wore bear skins on their heads, but he killed them all. And he had some friends.
Stop!
Then, I don't know.
Stop!
I don't remember anything.